today, so bear with me. I'll get our intro taken care of and we'll get started. Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Wowhead Weekly number 141. Lots of PTR updates this week. We have tons of info to talk about with allied races and stuff coming up in Battle for Azeroth as well as the PTR. But before we get into all of that, I would like to introduce my lovely co-host, Wowhead Site Manager Perculia.
Hey everyone, we have the 735 PTR that is alive the same week as Antorus, and it's very exciting, and there's so much to talk about.
There is.
Yeah, we even have like some hints, like maybe that Battle for Azeroth pre-order is coming soon. So yeah, let's discuss.
Let's start off with that. Yeah. So okay, check out this Hearthstone card back. If you look really close, you can see that it's actually animated. So we now know that this is the Hearthstone card back. Is it confirmed, or are we assuming that it's for Battle for Azeroth?
It's like 90% confirmed.
Yeah.
It shows up in the patch notes as the Azeroth is Burning card back acquired from a special promotion, and when it says special promotion, you look at like past promotions, you're like, oh, there's the Warlords card back, and like other things that are like collectors.
And it looks so Battle for Azeroth. It's not even funny. I mean, it's very clearly this right here. Oh, here, I was going to move it so you guys could see it a little better. This is the card back that we are talking about. As you can see, one side is Horde, one side is Alliance. It's got some torn banners with lava underneath, which I really like the look of. It kind of reminds me of the wound in Silithus. I really like it.
Yeah, well, actually looking at it closer, if you stare at the center thing, it looks like the map of Azeroth behind the molten
it
stuff.
does. Here, look, guys, I'll make it a little bigger for you so you can see it. Do you see how it looks like a globe, like the map of Azeroth? That's really neat. That's really neat.
So that also raises the question of, we'll get to this a little bit later, but there's been a ton of allied race stuff on the PTR, so people are like, oh, like, are we getting pre-order stuff tied to Battle for Azeroth, and maybe we get this card back soon, or like an allied race if we, buy stuff in advance. So I don't know, but I thought it was strange that we didn't get pre-order info at BlizzCon, so I'm thinking maybe it will be soon if we're now seeing this card back.
Yeah,
which is clearly related.
So speaking of pre-order bonus possibilities, don't mind the fact that her screen keeps going black. It's coming back. It's back now. But I think so. If this is the Battle for Azeroth card back, I'm working on notes for 7.35 videos, which I'm really excited about. And we know about the intricately braided stallion. What is it called? The sea braided.
Yeah, the sea-braided stallion, the dressing horse.
Sea-braided stallion, and then the other one is an armored raptor. A lot of people think that the armored raptor is going to be the Zandalari troll mount. I think that the Battle for Azeroth Collector's Edition mount will change if you're Horde or Alliance, and I think that the sea-braided stallion is the Alliance mount, and I think the Zandalari troll is the Horde mount. And the reason I really think that is because they have showcased Jaina's super intricately braided hair like a million times, and she's so Alliance. And like we know that there's going to be some like Vol'jin stuff that happens, even if it's just like, oh, it's his spirit mon,
Right.
So, like, I kind of think those are going to be the collector's editions mounts, which I'm just getting really hype about this because there's so much good stuff coming with this year's collector's edition. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm curious what the other games will have as well. Yeah, we don't know anything. We don't know much about what's coming with this. But
oh my god. Okay, wait. I just got really excited. So if we think the rewards for the pre-order are coming soon, like holiday time, early 2018, that's when the new crossover skins are coming to Overwatch.
Ooh, so that makes a lot of sense.
They could totally do like a Horde and an Alliance skin that would come out.
Or like an allied race is somehow in Overwatch. I could see that.
Gonna be awesome. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. But all of our excitement is stemming, of course, from the 7.3.5 PTR. And one
that just. Yeah,
go ahead,
it just sort of came out of nowhere. No, I'm just like, oh my god, it just sort of came out of nowhere and was like...
And it was a lot.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot. Yeah.
It was a huge PTR. So last week we talked a little bit about Silithus and how on the PTR there was a box where the sword used to be, and it looked as though it might be healing. And I've got some better pictures of that for you guys now that the sword has been added back in on the PTR. As you can see, it is yellow around the sword rather than the glowy red that it is now. We can see some azurite nodes, and the sword itself seems like it's been powered down or like decommissioned in one way or another. So what do you think that means for Azeroth?
So I think it means that the power of the sword has been neutralized, and there's still a lot of bad. Like the gold is not good, but it's better than red.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think that we data mined how the retirement of the artifact weapons happens, and I think that this is related to it, how it's neutralized the effect.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, but I still think a lot of stuff is bad. Like, I mean, I think that maybe we just neutralized the threat, but we're not actively helping Silithus get better. Like, that sword is still there. Like, you know, it's still very toxic.
Yeah, so let's talk about what we were going to talk about next, and then talk about the artifact weapons now, because that seems pretty relevant.
Right.
So what you guys are seeing on your screen, of course, is the sword in Silithus, the wound in the world. This is the PTR 7.3.5 version where things are beginning to heal. And we have data mine. Let me throw a spoiler tag up just in case.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Is upset by
the data mining for the weapons. Yeah, that's definitely good.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about what happens to artifact weapons in 7.3.5. So if this is something that you do not want to know about, definitely be aware that this is spoiler. I'm going to put it back on us, but it is still spoilers. Like main spoiler tag, spoiler tag, spoiler tag. Okay, so we have found out on the PTR that Magni, which, by the way, Magni, not Magni. I'm very sorry to everybody who I offended by mispronouncing Magni. But Magni Bronzebeard will definitely have something to do with our retirement. And it seems as though the power from our weapons is needed to contain the power and the corruption from Sargeras's blade in Silithus. There's a cinematic that we can't see yet that's called Artifact Retirement, so we know something is going to happen. And there's a lot of debate over what is going to happen with our artifact weapons after they've been retired. My theory is that they will become like an epic, or like some sort of like you can't put any more artifact power in it. It'll, you know, no longer be like, I think we'll still keep the weapons. I don't think we're giving them away per se. I just think that they won't function the way they do currently.
From a lore standpoint, I'm curious about some of the corrupt ones, like you know, Xalatath, or it's like, ooh, like I'm absorbing corrupt power, like yummy, yum nom nom nom. Like
a lot of Shadow Priests are really RP excited about this because they're like, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I need to do, is absorb some corruption. So there's a lot of interesting things that could be going on there. And then there's also the big question of, is Azeroth actually healing? Is it getting worse? Are we helping? Are we making it worse? And I think there's a lot of debate to be had there. Perk has been saying forever, since the beginning, that she thinks, right, that we're being manipulated by the old gods. All right, give everybody your theory here, because it's good.
So I think we're being manipulated by the old gods, and our presence in Silithus and being there, we're just absorbing all the corruption, and they're making us fight each other. So even if the Horde and Alliance is technically responsible for, you know, Teldrassil or Lordaeron, it's the old gods manipulating us.
Yeah.
And then it makes more sense if we fight Queen Ashara, and we have all this Azerite that we're picking up for the Heart of Azeroth necklace, and it's going to backfire horribly when we're like, ooh, we've amassed it all together, like time for the old gods to just like grab our Hearts of Azeroth and make something even more powerful and terrible from it. Yeah. And Magni is the pawn, so he's going to be helping us again, like in Legion, but actually sort of unwittingly making the wrong thing happen, kind of like how he told us to go to the Broken Isles, and then thanks to him, we opened the tomb. And then when the tomb was open, Illidan was able to open the path to Argus, and then Sargeras was able to stab Azeroth. Like, that whole thing was triggered by Magni telling us to go get the Pillars of Creation. So hopefully he won't do another bad chain reaction again, but
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's a good idea. It seems like a pretty bad idea that Azeroth is bleeding because a Titan stabbed it with a corrupted blade, and then we're just going to use that clotted up blood to empower our necklaces. that seems like a poor choice.
What do we do with the weapons? It's like, raise the weapons to draw out the corruption. Then it's like, well, where do we put these weapons? Is there like a garbage dump for them? Like, is there like a radioactive part of Azeroth? Or our backpacks like horribly like infected now? Like,
it seems like we're making some questionable choices for sure. But I'm definitely excited to see more. I'm gonna take our spoiler tag off now. Yeah. So if you guys were had us muted because you didn't want spoilers, don't worry, we're not gonna talk about it anymore. But what we are going to talk just a little bit about are some reward possibilities that are coming to Silithus. There are the Doomsayer's Robe toy, which disguises you as a Doomsayer. We also have the unevolved Silithid Grub pet.
It's so cute.
It's not cute. As well as the Scorpid Skitterer, which looks like, I don't know, the way it's got the yellow over it makes me think that it might be a Master Battle pet. And
that might be neat.
One.
Yeah.
We'll see. But these are some possibilities coming up in Silithus, which is really interesting because it seems like we talked a little bit about how last year, the AQ event, the Scarab...
Call of the Scarab.
Yeah, the Scarab World event seemed like it could have been a lot more. It could have been a full-fledged holiday. Then, on the PTR, we have data mined. Well, I didn't. Other people did. Other people...
Thank you, Stefan. Yeah.
Thank you. Other people data mined these Scarab mounts. There's a purple one. There's a blue one with, like, purple legs. There's also, like, a reddish one with bronze legs. And there's one more. I think it's, like, black. And
the black is super controversial. I'll explain that in a sec.
Yeah, and it seems like these may be rewards for the Scarab event in Silithus.
Yeah, that's what the Mount Journal says. Like, it says, like, source, Call of the Scarab. And they look like high-resolution versions of the AQ ones. And the weird thing about the black one is that some people are saying when they copy over their Scarab Lords, they automatically get the new one. So people are like, oh my god, like, these people get another elite bug mount? Like, what's going on? And lots of discussion about that, but I think it would be awesome if they actually made Call of the Scarab a real holiday or, like, ongoing event, because there's so much AQ lore with, like, War of the Shifting Sands, just opening
but here's what's strange is that the Scarabs are coded as mounts now. Like, all of the Scarabs, if you collect them from AQ, show up in your mount journal as mounts, even though they're only usable in AQ. So, like, part of me wonders if these are just updated models and it's not new and exciting. It's just like,
no, they definitely are new.
Oh, they're definitely new?
Yeah, like, if you look at the mount data, it's like, like, Mount 1, old AQ bug, like, Mount 2, new AQ bug. Like, they have separate entries.
Gotcha. And the people who have the black one already are getting the new black one in addition to the old black one?
Yeah. So, like, we don't know if that's a glitch or anything. But, yeah, so my guess is that when the Call of the Scarab comes around, it will be, like, a insanely big holiday, bigger than last time, and, like, will be like the beginning of all the new rare spawns and toys and pets in Silithus in 735, whatever. That's my theory.
Gotcha. Very interesting. I don't mean to be annoying, but if you could just reach up to your mic and turn your gain down just a tiny bit. You're topping out the mic. I turned you down on my end, but it's not going to stop unless you turn it down just a little. Technical difficulties. We're figuring it out. This is the hold music.
Is that better?
All right, talk regular now.
Okay. I'm talking regular. I think because the mic is, like, upside down, I have to turn it
It's
to the left, not to the right.
Now it could go down even a little bit more, believe it or not. But yeah, thank you. Okay. Sorry.
I blame Brightpaw for all that.
Always. Earlier, I was like, Perk, are you sure you're using the right mic? It sounds weird. Brightpaw had turned her mic completely around, so she was talking into the back of the mic. But, so blame the cat, always. Always.
Yeah.
So that's,
I don't know where he is. I don't mean to summon him. I'm just
terrifying. It's like a toddler. Yeah. If you hear silence, that's scary. He's doing something bad for sure. But that's all the stuff that's going on in Silithus right now. Now, I'm super excited about this change coming in 7.3.5. These are the leveling changes.
Oh, so good.
The zones dynamic. Now, I made these, where is it? Hold on. I made these maps.
Okay.
Zones.
Yeah, the maps are super cool.
So I made these maps that show you how the new zones are going to work, because all low-level zones, all vanilla content is dynamic. So basically, they're going to start at the same level approximately that those zones were intended for now or previously. Yeah. But you'll be able to stay there until up to 60 if you want to. So, any zones that are level 20 to 60, that means you could start questing there at 20, 30, 40, 50, 55. Right. It doesn't matter. It's up to you as long as you meet that minimum requirement. It's going to be amazing. I'm super excited about that. Now, because they've made all these changes and everything scales now, they've actually made some additional changes as well. So all mobs, all quests are going to reward you with additional experience, but everything will also be harder to kill. You're not going to be running around one-shotting things anymore. And
nope. You have a rotation.
Yeah, the reason for that is that they're actually nerfing the stats on heirloom gear. You'll still get the same amount of experience from it, but you will have nerf stats. But all that being said, all of the mobs are also going to be giving you additional experience. Quests are going to give you additional experience, and leveling itself has been kind of evened out. Like, it used to kind of be like a do-do-do-do-do, and then it would, like, fly up and was very exponential at, like, level 55. And now it's a much smoother curve all the way to 60. So you end up needing the same amount at 60, but over time you'll need a little bit more experience to level for a lot.
Yeah, at the lower level. So that encourages you to actually finish a quest in a zone instead of being like, okay, I just one-shot things in Northern Barrens, and I guess I'll just, oh, look, I'm in Outland already type thing.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that because I am a person who hasn't been reading quests for probably 8 years now because ever since Heirlooms came around, you just out-level the zone so quickly.
It's like you're reading a book, like, oh, I'm reading the 3 middle pages of a book. I feel so personally involved in this. Next.
Next. Exactly. It just doesn't, it's not nearly as exciting as it should be. So I'm really, really excited about this. They also made changes to flying on the 7.3.5 PTR. So once you have flying in Azeroth, you will have all flying that is not related to Pathfinder achievements. So that'll be flying in Mists of Pandaria, flying in cold weather flying in Northrend. All of those will all be available to you as soon as you buy Master Flying. Right?
Yeah, and that's related to another change, which is that in addition to the scaling that we talked about in Azeroth, Blizzard's made changes. So Outland and Northrend are like 60 to 80, and then Cataclysm and Mist are like 80 to 90. And so it's like, oh, I can just go do these zones interchangeably, and I can still fly in either of these completely different continents without having to go find a trainer in some random place. So it helps people in those places.
When those expansions were new, it made a lot of sense that they would have you buying it separately. But now that it's kind of older, outdated content, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have it be all separate. I actually realized the other day that my druid, who was my very first main, my very first character to ever have flying, did not have epic flying. I'm on stream leveling, and I'm like, why do I fly so slow?
This is so slow.
Yeah, oops. Speaking of Northrend, Ulduar Time Walking is also coming in 7.3.5. Super excited about this. Now, what kind of changes have they made to Ulduar to accommodate Time Walking in 7.3.5?
Right. So Ulduar was a unique instance. It was like the first one that had hard modes, and the loot tables were really different on 10 and 25. So what they've done is they've removed the 10 versus 25 distinction, and then all the loot is kind of smushed together, and all the achievements are done on 10 and 25, and if you get the meta achievement done, you are rewarded the amount that was formerly from 10 and the amount that was formerly from 25. Herald of the Titans is still there. They just changed the wording to imply that...
I think I only have the 25 mount right now and not the 10.
Yeah, so you will get the 10 one automatically then when you log on. Yep. Herald is still around, and then the loot so far in the journal is 930 during the event, so that's pretty cool. We haven't seen anything about Valinor yet. Back in Black Temple, if you had the Warglaves, you could, unlock that transmog if you did time walking, but we haven't seen anything for the equivalent legendary in Ulduar yet. But yeah, super exciting. We'll probably learn more about this in the future. We haven't found any of the special Ulduar time walking badge stuff, but I'm sure there'll be a toy or two that, make jokes about Ulduar.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I feel like Ulduar for a lot of people was the pinnacle of WoW raiding. Yeah. So I'm definitely excited to experience it with my current guild. If you guys in chat haven't figured this out yet, I'm sort of obsessed with my current guild. I feel like they're family. Aww. We do the whole guild house at BlizzCon. I'm going on vacation with one of my guildies and his wife. We're all such a good group of friends that I'm just so excited to be able to experience BT and Ulduar and these older raids with this group of people people that I feel so connected with.
Aww.
So
Uldor was when I was guild leading, so I'm all like, oh, I remember like having to make tough calls on like, officer with this or how we learned, Yogg, and it'll be fun because you can do hard modes on time walking difficulty. So like,
that's cool.
You can hit the red button and do Mimorond. You can try to do like no lights Yogg. So it'll be interesting.
It certainly will, especially with like wondering how gear is going to scale and how things will affect your gear when you're, because things hit differently and procs work differently, and it's going to be really interesting to see like what the option.
It's like, it's like the very first hard mode, so it's like, oh, this is kind of a taste of what hard modes were like, like the original prototype for them.
So what's amazing is that there's a guy in my guild who has like, he does time walking every time it comes around, and he has an optimal time walking set with like, the gear that has the best set bonuses, and he uses, the legendary back from Mist of Pandaria, and it's so cool, and he makes us all look stupid because we go in there in just our regular gear, and he's doing like 5 times more DPS than the rest of us because he's optimized for it. So it makes me regret all the things I've deleted for bag space over the years because, I at one point have had just about every set for the Druid since I started playing, and I've had every set for the Shaman since Mist of Pandaria, so I'm going to have to go back and, like, earn a bunch of that stuff so that I can show them up, well, in heals, because I'm a healer, but you know how it goes. But I'm pretty excited. Also, coming in 7.3.5 is a fun new kind of flavor quest for a male elemental.
I love this quest because Pepe is there.
I'm going to put up, I have a very long slideshow of this. It's like 40 things. It's so ridiculous. So you can go ahead and start talking about it, and things are going to keep scrolling as you talk.
So there is a special mailroom quest in Dalaran, and if you ever wondered how people get all the mail around as we keep losing stuff and have full bags, now we get to go behind the scenes. So you start this quest by a piece of dropped mail by the mailbox. Thank you so much to Quintessence and Warcraft Pets for giving us one of these pieces of mail so we could start it on the PTR. The mail is a rare spawn, so you have to wait a few hours for the mail to get dropped before you pick it up. And you start delivering mail around Dalaran, and eventually you take the mail chute down to the actual mailroom in Dalaran, which is covered in letters and just paper flying everywhere and tubes to all the continents around Azeroth and flying letters, and there is even a Pepe there just sort of watching everything from his high perch. So already this is the best quest ever.
Obviously.
And as you're questing, it's funny, at one point, the mailroom's like, we have all these pieces of solid stone, and we really hate them. Oh, how about we just give them to Nexus Prince Haramad of the Consortium? Like, he won't mind. And he's very upset. He's like, why did I get 1,000 pieces of solid stone? I will destroy you. I hate this blasted stone. So you can see the quest doesn't take itself super seriously. And then your next step is that someone forgot to loot Invincible from the Lich King. You go there, you find a lot of people.
Oh my god, that's what that was from. That's what the data mine thing was from. Oh my god. We're coming full circle, fam.
Yep. So you go, you fight off people who also want the mount. You loot Invincible Reigns. It's a quest item, though. You can't actually use the mount. And then you have to deliver it to the person who forgot the mount, who is none other than Johnny Awesome. And he is unimpressed because he's like, I looted Invincible last week. Like, you need to sell this duplicate copy. I don't care about this.
I genuinely wish he would say, I don't understand why it's called Invincible if you can see it.
I think they should add that because the whole quest line, like, it's very trolly.
Well, and that's such a Johnny Awesome thing to say, too.
Yep. So then you get a sack of gold, and then he's like, as an honor, you should give this favorite toy to Twinkles, my deceased Sparkle Pony, by his grave. So you then deliver that to the Sparkle Pony, and it's revealed that his favorite toy is a Mimorond's head. So you've just delivered, like, the 2 rarest mounts in WoW as part of this quest line. And it's very trolly, because you can't keep up the mounts, of course, and you're just, like, giving them away to Johnny Awesome. So then you return back to the post office, and they thank you for your work, and then you start a mini-game where a bunch of cities flash on the screen, and you have to click the right column and name for the continent it matches up with, and then you just like throw that mail into the chute. And if you get 30 done in a minute correctly, you get the mail elemental pet, and then you check your mail, and you are also sent a toy of the postmaster assistant who you summon her, and she is like a little mailbox. And the cool thing is you also get one of those letters in the mail that you can then send to your friends so they can do the quest. And, you know, the more people that do the quest, the more people get mail, and it's spread that way.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it's
So how do you originally pick it up? If you can share it with friends, like how does the first person get it?
So it just appears on the ground by a mailbox in Dalaran. I think Secret Findings said it was like every 2 or 3 hours, just one piece of mail appears.
Interesting.
So, you know, it's like you do one and then maybe you get sent like 2 or 3 when you finish it. So gradually, like more and more people, it will circulate. It's kind of like Brawler's Guild. Like, you know, it's hard to get it at first, but then as
everybody
you get levels,
has it. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's adorable. That's adorable. I know. So as you guys see, there was a ton of slides. It was pretty much like every single step to the quest. Yep. Also exciting 7.3 quest is that the selfie camera is no longer going to be tied to the garrison.
Yep. Selfie camera.
Yeah, there's a new quest.
Also, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
I'm saying it's cool because people are like, oh, like, you know, Argus is going away. I want Argus. And with the new camera filters, you can have Argus back in the sky via the selfie camera, or like a Fireland sky or a Shaw sky. So there's new filters coming. We don't know how, but we think you have to like, you know, sort of like the music rolls with the garrison, you have to like do the content and then maybe you get it at the end like a boss drop.
Neat.
So yeah, I'm excited for the Argus filter.
I was, speaking of Draenor, or Argus in the background, I was talking to my husband about WoW screenshots. And I have had many a computer since I started playing WoW. I think I've had like 6 different computers.
Yeah.
And I, unfortunately, do not have all the screenshots I've taken over the years because, like, one of my computers, smoke came out of it. It, like, physically melted. So there was no saving that one. You know, there were a couple that, like, I had a corrupted hard drive on one, and then my most recent one was like 2 years worth of screenshots. Nick reformatted the hard drive without realizing it. But at some point, I uploaded my screenshots, some of them, to Facebook. And it's
that's good.
It's funny because a lot of them are when I was hacked, because I got hacked back in like 2010. So a lot of my screenshots, I'm wearing like a lovely dress with bunny ears because that was all the gear that I had left. And I've been making it a point to take a ton of screenshots all over the world with Argus in the background, and I've been like backing them up to Google Drive so that I'll never lose them. And when you say now that like, oh, there's a selfie filter, I'm like, of course there is. Like, I've been doing all this work to like keep my memories, and you know. Nope, you can just add that back in the background, but
I mean, with the selfie camera, like, wouldn't you have to be in the pose with your arms?
For
it's
sure.
So good that
and extra bad because I'm a shaman and I'm a panda shaman, and
so
they have not fixed the arm. Yeah. It's crazy because that's been broken since Warlords of Draenor. Like, your arm rotates like the wrong way. Like when you put your arm forward like this, instead of your armor facing that way, it like comes forward and blocks your face. Fix it, Chris Robinson. Fix it. You know what else I thought of the other day? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today.
Okay.
When we were at BlizzCon last year, so not 2017, but 2016, we were hounding Chris Robinson and I can't remember who, someone else, about
he was important though.
About tattoos and different kinds of horns for Torrent, new hairstyles,
I
new
all this allied race stuff. There it
is.
They
knew. Yeah. They already were working on allied races, and they're like, we have something in the works. And I had this moment the other day where I was like, we were onto them. We were onto them way early. But anyways, perfect transition, because now we're going to talk about allied races. Yay. So first off, I'm going to show you guys the heritage armor, which if you do not remember, heritage armor is rewarded to you for leveling one of the allied races from level, I believe they start at 10 or 20, all the way up.
20,
all the way up to max level 110, well, not max, but 110. And these are the armor sets. Now, some of the allied races currently have multiple tints to their heritage armor. Some only have one, and we don't know if, you know, the ones that have the multiple tints, if they're even going to be available, how they'll be available, if multiple tints are coming for ones that don't have them yet. We don't really have the information, but
I think it'll be like the class mounts where like you do like other stuff to get them.
No. They were so unfair and all over the board for
that.
I
mean, I think that I think that the armor, like, if everyone did something, if it was like, oh, you know, if you're, like, honored, you know, like, maybe it's, like, safe to be, like, I don't know, like, honored with High Mountain. This is not, I don't know, but, like, you have to be honored to unlock the race. Maybe if you, like, get exalted, then you get, you know, another tint or something.
Yeah, who knows? We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Did all of them go in there? Did I see everybody? Lightforged,
I think there's, there should be,
Nightborn.
There's 8 of them.
High Mountain Torrent did not get added to this. I'm adding them right now. They're here. Cool. It just got, like, skipped over on accident. There we go. All right. You'll see them when it comes back around. But the armor sets are all amazing. And they are cosmetic armor sets, meaning that they can be transmogged onto cloth, leather, mail, or plate. It doesn't matter what type of gear you wear. For some reason, Nightborn have a tabard as well.
Yeah, the Void Elves do. I think they're adding, like, one every build.
Yeah, not Nightborn, Void Elf. My bad.
Yeah, the Nightborn got one recently in, like, yesterday's build, but yeah, I think eventually they'll all have, like, a tabard, like, they all have their own mounts, they'll have, like, one unique thing, you know, representative of their race. But yeah, my favorite so far is, so I like the Void Elves, but I also like the red, Nightborn set.
The Void Elf one is absolutely amazing. I'm going to let this scroll through one more time so that everybody can see the High Mountain Torrent that I didn't add until just now. My bad. Sorry, guys. But I think the Void Elf with the wings are amazing. Just in general, Void Elves are awesome, and I will probably level a Void Elf even if I have to play Alliance on that alt. I mean, it won't be my main or anything, but they're so cool. It's too bad that they're Alliance.
It's too bad Nightborn or Horde.
I know. I feel like we're just literally saying what every Horde and Alliance is saying right now. Although I feel like if you had done a poll of all WoW players that played Horde and you said, what race would you want to become Horde from the Alliance? I feel like Night Elf would have probably won. And I feel like vice versa, Blood Elf would have probably won. So this was definitely probably a good compromise for a lot of people.
I know.
But God, the Void Elves are awesome. They're so cool. And on top of that, we also know what their mounts are already. So let me pull those up for you because the mounts are amazing. These are, the first one you're seeing here is the Void Elf Rachel mount, which is like a Galaxy Hawk Strider. The Moose, of course.
It's my favorite.
It's so good. It. Well, the High Mountain Torn Moose is amazing. Then we have the Lightforged Fell Crusher, which is like a Lightforged Elec mount. And then finally we have the Cat, which is the Nightborn mount. I actually feel like that's the Nightborn and the Lightforged Draenei have the most underwhelming mounts compared to...
Yeah, I mean, like they're... Like the Lightforged is basically the Army of Light Paragon mount, but a little more glowy.
A little more glowy. It's a little... Hopefully they're going to add more doodads, and maybe it'll look more impressive when you see it in person. But even the Nightborn mount just looks like the mount you get from Suramar.
Yeah.
But the Void Elf mount is amazing.
I know.
Do we know if these mounts are faction specific? So like if you level up...
Yeah, they are faction specific.
Lame.
So yeah, they don't, like, the Alliance one doesn't show in the Horde mount journal and vice versa.
So let me flip it over to you so we can talk a little bit about the racial abilities. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put the cities for Suramar and Thunder Totem. Yeah, have been updated so that they're actually going to be faction capitals in Battle for Azeroth. And I have really long slideshows for those. So while you talk a little bit about racials, I'll put the city update slideshow on in the background. Whenever you're ready.
So, yeah, I'm good. We have data mined the racial abilities for 4 out of the 6 allied races, and icons and names as well for the Dark Iron Dwarves. And while the Lightforged Draenei and High Mountain Torrent are very similar to the BlizzCon demo, there's a lot of discussion around the Nightborn and Void Elves. So the Nightborn have cantrips, which allows you mail access for 1.5 minutes, Masquerade, which lets you take on the appearance of another Nightborn, total awesome cosmetic perk. Ancient History to increase inscription skill, Arcane Affinity to increase magical damage, Dispel Illusions to pierce illusions and invisibility within 15 yards, and Magical Resistance to reduce magic damage. The Void Elves have Spatial Rift, which lets you teleport through the rift in a 30-yard range. You can just sort of hop back and forth. Chill of Night, which reduces arcane and shadow damage. Entropic Embrace, which is your abilities have a chance to empower you with the essence of the void. Ethereal Connection reduces the cost of void storage and transmogrification by 50%. And Preternatural Calm, which is your spell cast are not delayed by taking damage. So people are like, caster, Void Elf, going to be OP. And then our peers are like, oh, also OP, like I don't need, transmogrification discount. So those are the two new things. And then for Dark Iron Dwarves, we just know that they are Dungeon Delver, Fireblood, Forged in Flames, Mass Production, and Mole Machine. We don't know anything about Zandalari yet, and the Lightforged and Torrent, I think we covered a few times because we already knew them at the Battle for Azeroth demo. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I had a question come in that I think is pretty valid. Do you know when Wowhead will have allied races in the dressing room, specifically Nightborn?
So this is like a little bit of a backstory, but when 7.3.5, every time when there's a beta, usually there's like crazy file format changes, and like every site that does data, it takes longer than usual to fix all the tools to deal with the surprise file format out of the blue. Those changes seem to have started in 7.3.5. So, like, everyone is still running around fixing stuff, and that's why in all the Wowhead articles, there's no, like, links to, like, here's the item of the mount. Like, it's all text. There's no links to any PTR stuff. So we are still in the process of getting that PTR database up, and then once that's up, we should be able to get the Nightborn and Void Elves and the extra Draenei and Torrent customization options in there. But like right now, we're just fixing the tool that takes all the Blizzard data and turns it into Wowhead pastes.
So the answer to that is as soon as possible.
Yeah, we have like one person has been working like nonstop on it, like through the weekend, trying to get our stuff to like properly read the data.
Is that Stefan?
So. No, that is someone that works with him though.
Oh, okay. Because it seems like no matter what time I message him, so he does all the model viewer stuff.
No, he's awake. Like
you can
just to clarify. Yeah,
it's like Wowhead staff. People are always like, Panzer, are you Wowhead staff? And I'm like, no. You know how you can tell? I sleep. Because everybody who works at Wowhead, I can message them at 7 in the morning, 7 at night, 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the. It does not matter. Everybody is awake 24/7. It's shocking. Yeah. When do you sleep? I don't understand. So huge shout out to the Wowhead team who's been working around the clock on this PTR. Absolute nonsense. It's like Blizzard likes to trip you up. Every time there's a new PTR, they're like, here's new file types. Have fun with this.
I know, and it's like Antaurus week too, so it was like, oh, well, like, hey, we finished Antaurus guides, like, oh, look, a PTR. But yeah, we have one person that has just been like mainly dedicated to getting the dressing room up because we know that's super popular, and then other people are focusing on items and everything else related to the PTR, and then we have the content team, and then we have like Stefan getting pictures of everything, and it's a big messy operation.
It's a whole to-do. Yeah. So let's check out, I've got all of the customization stuff for everybody, so let's check out the High Mountain Torrent. And I believe this same slideshow is also going to show you the Druid forms as well as the Shaman
totems. They're so cool. Yeah.
I love High Mountain Torrent. It's my favorite thing currently.
The Druid forms, I love how they all have the antlers on them,
Amazing.
Even the bird flying form.
I know.
It's so cute. It's like, oh, you're a little eagle and you have little BB antlers.
And you have little BB eagle antlers. I love that they have feathers and they have like leather wrapped around them. And, you know, the beards have little like doodads in them. I just feel like there are so many details on these new allied races that it just makes me happy. Here come the cat forms and stuff so you can see all the forms.
Yeah. But I love the cat form with antlers. If Brightpaw didn't hate costumes, I would get him a little headband with antlers.
Hate that. I'm going to throw a spoiler tag up so that Perk can talk a little bit about quest stuff. Nothing that you're going to see on the screen is spoilery as far as lore, so you're welcome to keep looking at the forms as they scroll through. Spoiler tag is up. Take it away, Perk.
Sure. So we've also been data mining some of the quest texts related to each allied race, why they join. And so for High Mountain Torrent, it's not really super angsty intention. Basically, Bane and Mila are friends. And basically we learned that Spirit Walker Ebonhor's mind has been controlled by this agent of the old gods who is Ulganeth. And the quest is all about going to the agent of the old god and defeating him. And he has really punny abilities like Ultimatum. And along the way, Bane learns the secret that Ebonhorn is a dragon, so that demonstrates that, you know, Mila is trusting Bane with the secret. And it's very chill. It's like, oh, you helped us. Thank you for helping us. Like, we should, you know, have better relations. Like, let's rejoin the Horde again. Yay. So it's also, old god tinfoil hat, like I was saying, like, oh, it's not just Alliance versus Horde, like the old gods they have a presence, like, look at them, they're already in this unlock quest line, like, they'll probably do more in the future. So that's what I think is the most interesting thing about High Mountain Torrent, and how the threat is related to the old gods in some way. I just don't like the idea that, like, we worked hard, we're really smart to defeat the Burning Legion, and now we're just idiots blowing everything up. So I like to think we're better than that. So that's why I'm trying to blame it on the old gods and not, like, people being terrible. Yeah. Definitely not Lightborn, but definitely Void and Nightborn. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So, this is pretty interesting. So we've learned that as you do the Nightborn questline, the Blood Elves say something at one point that no, Void, remove them from the Sunwell. Void corrupts the Sunwell. That's why we got rid of those Void Elves. And Illyria hears that, and she decides to research her kin. So this is all about Illyria tried to get Silvermoon to join the Alliance. That didn't work out. So she's really keen on having her, exiled, kin join her for the Alliance, and really wants to help them, and feels like they're in a bit of a rough spot. So you help Illyria track down the Void Elves all throughout Ghostlands, and you learn more and more about why the Blood Elves dislike the Void. Someone that was instrumental in betraying the Blood Elves to Arthas was a scholar of the Void, and she starts worrying that, these Void Elves are really in over their head, and that they're, playing with this really dangerous magic. She goes, she meets Magister Umbric, who's, the leader of them. They get along great, and then this evil Nether Prince comes along and is all like, oh, I want to transform you, you will be under my control, you're not yourselves anymore, so you have to help everyone defeat the horrible evil spirit. And then, they're like, hey, now we have nothing, we're exiled, we've been changed, who are we anymore? And Illyria's like, oh, your fate is still your own, join the Alliance, I'll help you make the shadows serve you instead of you being controlled by them. Silvermoon's turned your back on you, but, you can still walk a new path with us. And that's how they join the Alliance. So they seem kind of emo, because they're all like, oh, those Blood Elves are mean, they exiled us, oh, actually, they made sense, White Elf power is bad, oh no, God. Now we're exiled. And Illyria, please help us. So they seem kind of whiny right now, but yeah, they are joining the Alliance, and they look very cool.
All right.
And they have glowy hair, super cool glowy hair.
Now, is there glowy hair on dudes or just chicks?
I think it's on both. Let me pull up the page again.
I didn't see it on dudes, but I wasn't sure if that just wasn't something that we had previewed.
No, it's on some of the dude ones. If you look at the hairstyle slide and look at the bottom right one with the ponytail, the bottom of the ponytail is glowy.
Oh, yeah, that's funny, because it happened to come up. And you know what, the second one the second row, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, So next up, we have Nightborn. I'm leaving the spoiler tag up. Also, to anybody who pointed out that Perk heard me last time. You guys couldn't hear me, but Perk heard me. I'm sorry if it was awkward.
Yeah.
So here are the Nightborn.
Yep. So, I am super sad about this, that they're joining the Horde, but it makes sense, because if you remember with the Insurrection quest line, the Blood Elves were, very sympathetic to the Nightborn, while Turan was more matter-of-fact and, okay, I'm helping you guys out, but, are you gonna betray everyone and mess things up like Elisand, and, you walled yourself off, and now you're causing problems again, and can we just end this before more of you die, or more of my soldiers die? So she didn't really make a good impression with the Nightborn. So it starts off where Lady Liadrin is trying to continue to be on good terms with the Nightborn. They talk about how the Night Elves were mean to them. They go to Silvermoon.
Everybody's so emo, this expansion.
I know!
World of Warcraft emo for Azeroth.
I know. So Thalrissa goes to Silvermoon, and Ilaria just happens to show up, and Ilaria's like, hey, like, Silvermoon should join the Alliance. And Lorthamar's like, wow, that sounds really brash and forward, like, and like overly political. Like, I'm so glad you're here not to actually just, see us. And things get really tense quickly. And Ilaria says that she wants to see the Sunwell, one last time, even though, Silvermoon doesn't want to join the Alliance. And they're like, that's fair, you can go see it. And because Ilaria has, the void powers, the Sunwell has this horrible reaction, summons the evil Netherlord that we meet in the Void Elf questline. And that Netherlord's like, oh, I want to claim the Sunwell for myself. And they're like, it's a crisis, and they have to kick Ilaria out, and the Nightborn helps stabilize the situation. And then after that, they're like, you've earned your ranks, like, the Horde really will help you, you can keep your traditions, we respect the Sunwell. And then that's how they decide to join the Horde. And there's this super upsetting line where we think Thalrissa is like, oh, good luck, see you later, Lady Liadrin. And she's like, oh, good luck, as for me, I am going to test my skill in Ashenvale for the Horde. So people are like, are you killing Night Elves in Ashenvale? Are you just, like, visiting an old zone that you liked 10,000 years ago? Like, are you, like, what are you doing there? Right? Like, this sounds, like, very callous. Like, can you,
We're concerned.
Like, that pretty quickly.
We are concerned. So everybody in chat, as well as myself, agree that the earrings that female Nightborn get are amazing. Yes. So cool.
Yes.
The tattoos are really, really cool. I do find it funny that a male Nightborn has a smaller waist than a female Nightborn, but that is neither here nor there. Finally up, we are going to be seeing the Lightforged Draenei. I'm going to leave the spoiler tag up just in case, because I don't know how upset anybody's going to get, so I'm just going to leave it up. But yeah, Lightforged Draenei are on the screen now.
Yeah, so these are more like the High Mountain Torrent in that it's more obvious why they joined the faction, and there's not really any, like, tension there. Like, basically, Turalian's like, I've decided that my army will join the Alliance. And you're like, okay. That's basically what it is. And you're like, okay. And then you go to, like, inform everyone, and they're like, okay, that sounds good, but, while you're here, like, watch this initiation ceremony for one of the members of the Army of the Light. And that initiate, whose name is Tapartos, asks you to, like, be his second through this scenario. And, you follow him through, and this seems the most incomplete, but it seems like you're in some sort of, like, swamp where he's, like, tempted by horrible memories and, like, being bullied as a kid and is told to, like, give in to the darkness and, basically sort of tormenting him and, presenting, like, a more interesting alternate reality. And, you sort of help him decide to stay with the light, and it's like a test of faith. He also has Hodor references. Like, he has something that is all, like, 2 pairs of toes, and, like, he keeps getting smushed into Tapartos, which is, like, hold the door, becomes Hodor.
Yeah. Whoa, so he has Game of Thrones spoilers. Look at her. Goodness, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
But he has this very funny way of talking. Like, he talks to himself in the third person. We have really funny voiceover lines. But yeah, that's basically it. He beats the scenario, and then we're like, okay, it's time to go back to Stormwind and say that we are, yes, in fact, for the Alliance. And, yeah, the only funny thing is, if you remember Vigilant Quorum from Macari, the guy who was giving the conservatory challenges, he's like, he has voiceover being like, hey, like, I can't be in the conservatory anymore. It was not an efficient use of my time. Tenure no longer means what it once did. And, he's on the Vindicar, so the speculation is that the Vindicar is now going to be like a Lightforged Draenei sort of hub or like mini-city somewhere, and he is now there. And he's sad that he's no longer on Argus. So as we're talking about, like, these Horde cities are now looking like, like the Nighthold is now a Horde city, it seems like the Alliance equivalents might be like this Vindicar based on the, Datamined audio.
So I'm hoping that the female Lightforged Draenei get some updates, because right now the males have the golden plating, like, and then they have tattoos that complement that, and the females only have, like, the golden plating. And I don't know if those are supposed to be their tattoos, but it seems weird that males would get 2 colors and that females would only get 1.
Let me pull this Where are you?
So in the male models, you can see that their tattoos are not quite outlined, but they're definitely accented by like white, almost runes in their skin. But
I see. Like on the back, it sort of like curves around, and on the sides, I see. That's
but
cool.
The females don't have that same accent. I hope that. Oh, you know what? I lied. One just came up and had the accent. I take it all back.
Yeah, I think they do a pretty good job.
I think the golden plating is just part of them, and then the white stuff is tattoos.
Yeah, the golden plating is part of them, and it looks super cool on backless dresses. Got it. And then the lighter stuff is the tattoos.
Got it. I understand now. So I take all of that back. All of it's been taken back. As far as specific questions in the chat about how much rep we need and stuff like that, we don't have that information yet, and when we do, it'll be on Wowhead. So we can't answer those questions because we don't have the answer to those questions yet. But moving on from allied races, because we have been talking about them for like 20 minutes. As far as what's going on live servers, of course, and Taurus, the Burning Throne, came out last week on Normal and Heroic, and then on Tuesday it came out on Mythic. And stuff's wild. Like, 9 out of 11 Mythic has already been cleared on US and EU in 24 hours.
Like, I was like, oh man, like, US, like, 9 bosses in one day, and then, like, all the EU people were watching how the US did it, so they just, like, got 9 bosses in, like, 6 hours. It's like, wow, like, so that's really fast.
Do you think it's undertuned? Do you think people are over-geared?
So I think they did say that Tomb of Sargeras was, like, too overtuned, especially for the last few bosses on Mythic difficulty, so I think they deliberately tried to make the first part easier. That said, like, we know Argus is going to be different in some way. And, like, nobody, I don't think, has gotten Agrimar yet. So maybe Blizzard's like, okay, well, it's okay if, like, the last 2 bosses are where the, you know, tension is. But I don't know. It's weird to have so many with 9. Like, with Nighthold, like, the early ones were easy, but it was, like, there was, like, I don't know, 3 or, you know, at least 3, maybe 4 bosses that required a lot of pulls. And this, I don't know. It feels like, I don't know, like Varamathras or Coven could be, I don't know, could have been harder.
So, anyways, we talked about this last week, but of course, Tier 21 drops from Antorus. There's special tints for Mythic difficulty. There's also the red scythe that drops from Argus. That is
that's so cool.
You can use it to transmog. I'm sorry, I don't have a picture of that because we have a billion pictures today.
I know.
And then also, there is the Urzul mount, which I definitely recommend going and checking out on Wowhead. There's some new stuff in the model viewer that's really cool, like a little Pepe and trees and flowers and stuff. You guys have seen the mount, but it looks actually very, very special and awesome in that video. So that's the kind of stuff that we're getting out of Mythic. Of course, that also meant that Raid Finder Wing 1 opened up, and then I believe the next, it'll be 2 weeks, and then Raid Finder 2 will open, 2 weeks Raid Finder 3, 2 weeks Raid Finder 4, and I think the fourth one opens
which
on, like, the
ties in super well with stuff in 735, or like the Silithus, like called the Scarab stuff, like that's around the time Wing 4 opens, so I think it's all gonna tie together.
Yep. Also worth mentioning is that there's been a lot of information and misinformation out about these Pantheon trinkets. Now, of course, everybody knows about Aman'Thul's Vision. That is the legendary, which is separate from the legendaries so that you can have 3 legendaries equipped at the same time. And that works in tandem with these Pantheon trinkets that you see up on your screen now. Now, Pantheon trinkets in Aman'Thul's Vision are on push personal loot, meaning that it'll just be put into your inventory, and they're on separate ones, so you technically could get both an epic and the legendary at the same time. What's nice is that this week they hot fixed in Pantheon's Blessing. Whether you have the trinket or not, it can drop. It will drop from Argus, and that's the item that's used to upgrade these from 940 to 1000. So there was a lot of...
I think it's really good. Like, if you have super bad luck, suppose you go, like, a month without getting the trinket, if you still, like, do your kills, you'll be like, oh, well, like, I already have, like, stuff so I can upgrade it, like,
as soon as you get
20 item levels. And then it's like, okay, now I'm caught up with everyone else.
So that's nice that they added that in. What did you want to say about the elevator boss?
Oh, so there is a boss by Antoran High Command, and it is an elevator boss, and they're always really evil, but this one is super evil because it, like, follows the laws of physics, so if you don't move out and the elevator then lands on you again, it kills you. So, and it makes, like, a squish noise as well. So it's super evil. You know, everyone's like, okay, you know, we're by the elevator, like, you know, we're at the bottom now, let's just stand here and buff up, and then you see the elevator being like, no, everyone is dead. Like, you need to move away from me.
Yeah. There's like a running joke in my guild about like getting lost and dying to environmental things. I have not died yet on the elevator boss in Antorus, but I didn't realize that it could squish you. I knew that you could fall and die. I did not realize you could also be squished.
I think the first day it didn't, and then they hotfixed it in.
Rude.
Yep.
Very rude. So other than Antorus, there's lots of other stuff going on in WoW this week. The Dark Moon Fair is here until Sunday, which honestly, if you have not been to the Dark Moon Fair in a couple years, it's definitely worth checking out. There's lots of cosmetic gear that you can earn, mounts, pets, toys. There's these real cool cosmetic wings. There's tons of achievements to get. There's like mini games if you're trying to get your professions up. There's profession quests. There is all sorts of stuff to do. So if it's something that you haven't done in a while, it's definitely worth checking out. There's no PvP Brawl this week, but next week is Gravity Lapse Eye of the Storm. The weekly event is Cataclysm Time Walking, which is a bunch of Cataclysm dungeons, which is nice because a couple of them drop mounts.
That's actually really good timing because tomorrow is the anniversary of Cataclysm launching.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Timing.
And then I also used the opportunity of Cataclysm Time Walking to remind everybody about, Ulduar Time Walking, which we talked about earlier. But plus, this week it was confirmed that every year on World of Warcraft's anniversary, the Originals quest will return. That was confirmed on Warcraft Dev's Twitter. So you will be able to go back and do Blasted Land Lord Kha'Zix. You can do the Nightmare Dragons, and you can also do Azure Ghosts. So
awesome some transmog opportunities.
Yeah, same. And also it makes me feel like you'll also be able to buy that Corgi again. We'll see. But that's something that's going on. What else is happening this week?
We hit Artifact Knowledge 55.
I am max level.
So everything gives you like
1,000,000%.
Yep. And if you loot the item from the Argus invasion points, you will get 3,600,500,000 artifact power from
That's a
one
couple
item.
artifact power. It's ridiculous. I wanted to. I was doing Mythics on stream this week, which was a mistake for multiple reasons. One, I joke around all the time that I never do Mythic dungeons. Like I didn't Mythic raid this expansion because of how much Mythic dungeons you're kind of expected and required to do, and that type of content is just very stressful for me. I never found raiding and raid healing to be stressful, but in a 5-man, it's a lot. It stresses me out. There's a lot going on. It's not my thing. But I really wanted the Mythic 15 chests, so I was doing them on stream, and I was going somewhere with this.
Artifact Knowledge 55. Tokens with a lot of artifact power.
Oh, anyways, so I was initially DPSing and everybody was saying that Elemental was way better than Enhancement. I was like, but I haven't touched my Elemental weapon since like 7.2. It was like 2 items and I was like 69 or 70. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Like if you have any of your specs behind right now, it's like 1 or 2 items and you're wicked high, like mid-50s, early insanity. Sorry, I lost my train of thought halfway through.
No, that's fine.
It's just been a long day. But yeah, that's going on. And then Winterveil starts really soon. It's not out yet, but it's super soon, and I'm really excited about it.
The archaeology reward is kind of crappy. It's an item level 8.
It's not okay.
840 BOA relic. Oh boy,
I said it incorrectly in my video. I did say that it was an iron relic, which it can be any type of relic you want. Right. And while this could be very useful for your alts, maybe. I think that really the only point in getting it now is if you are looking for that artifact tint for this side up. But then also I kind of feel like we know that this side up is going to be something that you can get after this expansion, and how easier is it going to be when you aren't actually having to fight everything? So I don't know. I don't know.
I think then of course Greater Invasion, World Point.
The 860. Sharthos is up. That's for the warrior artifact appearance. I think that's it though.
Yeah, I think that's it. Something not in the notes is a merch thing that we can mention.
I just added that in. Are you talking about Jinx? And I'm
talking about Jinx.
You are?
Yeah, I'm wearing the
because I already have the slideshow made. It's up right now. Right now it's 20% off all Blizzard products, including all the ones that are in this slideshow on screen. And Perk and I are also both wearing Jinx sweatshirts right now, which we didn't even plan.
Nope. Mine is not a WoW one.
You know what's funny is I have these 2 hoodies downstairs sitting in my closet, but I'm not getting up. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it.
Also today at Jinx, there is a special flash sale where WoW merchandise is 40% off until midnight.
Whoa.
And they told me that some stuff might actually sell out today. So yeah, if you want like an Illidan hoodie or something, buy it today.
Yeah, so that's all going on, and then this is one of their Overwatch crew neck hoodies this is a crew neck sweatshirt that I'm wearing. This has got Reaper on it. Perk's got one of the new Jinx branded premium hoodies.
It's super cool. They have I like the little checkers things, and it's black and gray. It's fashionable. I have a matching one in red. Yeah, they have they just cool kind of fashion-y products that are at Hot Topic now.
I bought a yellow and blue shirt, and I literally immediately was like, "Isn't it funny that Perk always wears Horde colors and I always wear Alliance colors?" Yeah,
they sent me they sent me one of the Shield hoodies, and they gave me the Horde hoodie, and I was on a call with them yesterday, and they were like, "Oh no, we gave you the wrong one, right?" And I'm like, yeah." I'm like, I see red and black, so probably not. And then we had a good laugh how I was wearing red and black and it matched what I was wearing, but probably would not be good to wear, on the show.
So I don't know if you guys are like that at all, but Perk wears a lot of red and black and I wear a lot of bright colors, so we never seem to match our factions at all. But yeah, that's about it for this week. Thank you guys for all being so civil in chat. Our mods were busy this week, so we didn't have a giveaway. We didn't really have mods, and we really appreciate everybody behaving themselves. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We're going to have a big giveaway next week to make up for no giveaways 2 weeks in a row. But thank you so much for taking time out of your Wednesday to come hang out with us. We really appreciate it. We also may have an announcement next week, so if you are interested in surprises, definitely tune back in next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time here at twitch.tv/Wowhead. A huge thank you to all of our subscribers here on Twitch, our followers, our subscribers on YouTube, and a big shout out and thank you to all of our Wowhead Premium subscribers. For those of you unfamiliar, Wowhead Premium is a monthly subscription to Wowhead. It is $1 per month or $9 per year, and it can be gifted to a friend. And the biggest perk of Wowhead Premium is not only does it support Wowhead's content directly, but it also removes all advertisements from the website, desktop or mobile, as long as you're logged in. So if you're interested in that, head over to wowhead.com/premium. We are going to go. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week, and we will see you next Wednesday. Have a great night, guys.
Yep.
Bye. Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? It is right. Oh, God. It's somewhere. There it is. Bye.
Bye.